How's it going, everybody? Welcome into yet another episode of Luttie's Look Back. My name is Nick Luttrell. They keep letting me do these shows, so I'm going to keep talking to you guys about sports and what you missed from the past weekend of sports in the state of Arkansas. And I'll be honest, this isn't a very fun show to do. Maybe we'll get the viewership might go down a little bit this week, but that's okay. I'm still here to bring you guys what needs to be brought, a recap of the look back of sports, and also to critique the teams that need to be critiqued that maybe I don't get a chance to do when I'm on the traditional newscast just talking for a few minutes. I'm happy to get to do that here. Got a lot coming up on today's show of Luttie's Look Back. Of course, the Hogs get crushed 63-31 to Ole Miss, a really bad showing from the Razorback team. Also, not a great showing from UCA. The Bears, a shocker, losing in the FCS ranks to a winless Utah Tech team. We'll talk UAPB as well. They didn't put up much of a fight to Jackson State, granted a really good Jackson State team. There were a few wins in the GAC, so we'll of course give love to the Division II ranks as we always do. And don't worry, we'll of course talk some positives in the high school ranks. A lot of really exciting football happening in the Arkansas high school ranks, and especially heading into this week, the last week of the regular season. And then of course playoffs are starting very, very soon, so that is really exciting. But we'll start my show today, as we always do, with my three big things from the Arkansas bad game against Ole Miss with a 63-31 loss. And my first thing is the secondary. The defense as a whole didn't play good. I mean, obviously you give up 63 points and almost 700 yards to, granted, a good Ole Miss offense, but not good enough to put the points that they did against the Arkansas defense on Saturday. The secondary played really, really bad. Like, I don't know what to expect out of this defense anymore, because it's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde they're playing, and a Jekyll and Hyde that Travis Williams is playing. They put up such a good performance against Tennessee. They hold Tennessee to, I don't know, 13 points, somewhere around there. I can't remember the exact number, but they get the win against Tennessee. That seems like forever ago. It's probably about a month ago now. And they had a good performance against Auburn the week or two before that. They did decent against Texas A&M, a decent offense in Texas A&M. But now we've seen, after games against LSU, where they had a poor performance and a very poor performance against Ole Miss, I have zero confidence in where this defense is at. And I think the defensive line is able to get some pressure, but certainly not enough. But I think most of the blame has to go on the defensive backs, the secondary, the safeties, the people that are they have talent. They have talent there. This is what is so frustrating about it, that they do have talent, but when that talent compares to a talent like Ole Miss, talent that head coach Sam Pittman called the Louis Vuitton Ole Miss, because they kind of, I don't know if bought their players is the right word, but they went through NIL and they paid their players a fair amount because they're really good players. But that's all to say about Ole Miss. This Arkansas defense is not good. And maybe they're going to be better later on, maybe in the future. But right now, the Arkansas secondary doesn't look good, and they did not play good against Ole Miss. My second big point, man, it took a while on that first one because I really had to hit it. The second one, we'll move on a little bit quicker. The Hogs have got an injury bug a little bit. Taylon Green, Jaquindon Jackson, Braylon Russell. That's just on the offensive end. The defensive side on the ball hasn't suffered as much from the injury bug, but those three guys on offense, granted, you're probably some of your three best players on offense, your two best running backs for sure, Jaquindon Jackson and Braylon Russell, they just can't seem to stay healthy. And I think a lot of the blame goes on the offensive line for not especially keeping Taylon Green healthy. But on the play he got hurt, he's just trying to make a really good run. It's not like the offensive line was damaging him on that play, but his knee just got rolled up again. Not super similar to what happened in Tennessee, but then he tries to come back and he's never the same, because he's not the same player when he can't run. That's his strength. His strength is running the ball as a quarterback. And when he becomes one-dimensional, that's a problem. Jaquindon Jackson, obviously you haven't had him for the past two games. Don't really know what's up with him as far as when he's going to return. Obviously the Hogs have a bye week heading into this weekend, and the weekend after that they got Texas, so I expect Jackson will be back. I expect Russell will be back. I expect all three of these guys to be back for Texas because they have that bye week. So I don't want to put too much concern on the injuries right now, but I think that played a factor in Saturday's game against Ole Miss. My third and final big point / big thing that we have to talk about is Sam Pittman on the hot seat again. I think he might be just slightly. After the win against Tennessee, it was like, all right, you can hop off that hot seat, go cool down, enjoy your time. You're a great Arkansas coach. You'll be here for at least another year now. But now, like, if they would have lost Ole Miss by a couple touchdowns, I would have been like, all right, Sam Pittman's still the guy. They're going to still go to a bowl game. Now, okay, I do think they'll probably still go to a bowl game. I'm concerned about what the future of Sam Pittman as a head coach with this program looks like. And I think that's a fair thing to say when you lose like you did on your home field to a team like Ole Miss. Again, a good team in Ole Miss, but to lose the way you did by 32 points, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't care the quality of the opponent. Maybe if it's a top 5 team, but this is number 19 Ole Miss, and you lose by that margin. I think some question marks need to be raised. I think he's got to be put on the hot seat just a little bit now. Obviously, we'll see how the rest of the season progresses. If they get the win against La Tech and let's say they lose the rest of them, I think he stays the head coach. If they were to lose to La Tech, let's say bye week coming up this week, they lose to Texas, they lose to La Tech. I think he could be fired after that La Tech game to get the move on, because I don't know what the point is of still having him if you're losing to Louisiana Tech and putting up another bad performance at home like they did against UAB earlier in the year, but they still got the win. But hopefully that doesn't have to be the case. And speaking of Sam Pittman, here's his thoughts. You heard from my thoughts. Here's his thoughts after the game.
We got a long way to go, a lot of work to do. Disappointed in the way we played. Our kids are disappointed in the way we played. But we're going to have to get healthy and have a good week next week, moving on. But very disappointed. I felt like we had them ready to play. Obviously, that wasn't the case. We were in 3 deep, and they ran by us. And we were in man, but we were in 3 deep, and they ran by us too. So couldn't get pressure on the quarterback, couldn't get there either. And so when we're in man to man against some of their receivers that they had, Watkins specifically, we were having a hard time guarding him.
Did you want to get across in the locker room just then?
I just told them that we got outplayed, out-coached, out-physicaled. And that we've got 3 games left, and if we can win each one of them, we can hold our head up and go on to whatever bowl. This team, I told them that we can't have 80 that are going to go fight and 20 that don't. I told them if we're not willing to fight now, then we won't fight the rest of our life. But if we do, we'll fight the rest of our life. So I like this team. I hate that we got beat. I hate it for the university. I hate it for the state. But I do like this team. And I know I'm going to catch hell for that, but I do. I like the kids. And I think they'll come back and fight and correct what a lot of things that were wrong today, if we physically can do that, which we can, and come back and give a good showing when we go out there and play Texas the next time we're out there.
So certainly still some belief there from Sam Pittman, which I do respect. You don't want him to be sitting up there and saying, the season's over. And I do want to clarify something he did say that I think got out of hand a little bit on social media. He said we got 3 games left. We need to win each one of them, or we can win each one of them in order to still have a successful season, make it to a bowl game. I think there was speculation out there that he said that we got 3 games left. We need to win one of them and we'll be good. That's not what he said. He said each one of them. So he's definitely not like, hey, let's just win one of them and we'll be fine. I'll have my job for next year. We'll beat La Tech. It'll be just fine. No, he didn't say that. He said we need to win all 3 of these games, or he'd like to win all 3 of these games. I think Arkansas is definitely capable of doing that. So I just want to clear that up. Before I get to a few more of my thoughts, again, offensive line didn't do well in this game. They didn't protect Taylon Green like they needed to. Again, the play that Taylon Green first got hurt on, he was running, so that wasn't the offensive line's fault. But then when he kind of got re-injured and that knee got re-aggravated later on in the, I think it was second quarter, that's when I raised concerns about this offensive line. And there's a couple plays. Fernando Carmona, he's the blindside blocker. He's the left tackle. He's got to do a better job of protecting Talon. 8 sacks given up for this Arkansas offense. That's the most since 2020 when they played Alabama and got destroyed at home. So not good there, not good for penalties either. 10 penalties for 95 yards. That seemed like a big deal in the first half. Obviously, that didn't pan out to be a very big deal in this game, but still a sloppy game for what you expected to not be sloppy, especially coming off of a dominating win against Mississippi State. When Arkansas did to Mississippi State what Ole Miss just did to Arkansas this past weekend, that's basically it got flipped on its head. So we'll see how Arkansas responds to the rest of the week. 2 more things. Malachi Singleton, he was good. He came in for Taylon Green, and he looked really good in this game. Now, was it probably against Ole Miss's second, third string defensive backs? Yes, but I still think there's some confidence to be put in Malachi Singleton. I don't know if I'm saying, hey, take Taylon Green out of the game when he's playing bad, but if Taylon Green is not able to run like we've seen him run this year, then I think maybe you try out Malachi Singleton. Because I'm saying it, Taylon Green becomes one-dimensional when he can't run, and his throwing is good. Malachi Singleton might be better if Taylon Green can't run. Maybe. That's just my thought there. A couple more things. Landon Jackson, he's also he's good. He's good. So I don't know if there's any speculation about whether he is struggling this year or not, but he's a really talented player. I know he maybe only had 1 sack, but he was able to pressure the quarterback a lot. And I think he's still a very talented player. So I just want to put that out there as well. All right, let's move on from the Arkansas talk. I don't know if it gets much better for my next topic, but let's go ahead and get to it. UCA, they lose a tough one, 34-31 to Utah Tech. This is a Bison team that was previously winless before this game. Coming into this game, UCA is a top 10 team in the FCS. I don't know exactly what happened, but it probably starts with Will McIlvain throwing 4 interceptions. The Bears turned it over 6 times in this game. And Arkansas football, Razorback football fans know if you turn the ball over, you can't win games. And when the Bears turn the ball over 6 times, that's not going to be a winning recipe. Certainly not a winning recipe. Also, I will say they didn't have Shanderick Powell. He's been out, or he was out. I think this is the first game he's missed. I know he's been banged up with a lower body injury. He wasn't in this game. He's their best running back. He might be one of the best running backs in the FCS. And not having him, I think that was an effect in this game. But UCA is really, they've just struggled. Like, where's the team that should have beaten Arkansas State and kind of did beat Arkansas State to begin the season? The past few games, UCA hasn't looked like the same old great top 10 FCS Bears team that we know and love. So I hope they get back to that winning level, because they're a fun team when they get rolling. They have a couple good defensive weapons, a couple good offensive weapons, and a really good and really likable head coach in Nathan Brown. So I hope they can get things rolling over there in Conway, but we'll see how the rest of the season pans out. They got a few games left. Let's move on now to UAPB. They also didn't do so well over the weekend, but they lost to a really good Jackson State team, a team that is at the top of the conference in the SWAC right now. They lost UAPB lost 41-3. Mekhi Hagan's 150 yards passing and and an interception. Giovanni Gibson was good again, only 6 catches, but still against the top team in the league and a really good defense in Jackson State. I think that's still pretty good. And then on the defensive side for UAPB, I think that's where it hurt them the most in this game. The pass defense was okay against Jacoby and Morgan and that Jackson State team, but it was a run defense that really hurt them. I didn't write down the stat on how many yards rushing Jackson State had, but it certainly wasn't too good. But all right, let's check in now on some GAC scores. Also in the GAC Division II ranks. Southern Nazarene. This one was crazy. Thursday night got the 1-point win over OBU. That's wild. That's wild. The top 5 team going down after OBU, I think it was 2 weeks ago, beat Harding. They lose by 1 point. It was an SNU team that was previously winless on the year. That get their first win of the season, their first win in over a year against OBU. So tough look there for OBU. And Harding, though, they responded. 56-14 win over Southeastern Oklahoma State. SAU in the top right of your corner of your screen, beating the 48-14 win, and then Henderson State also capturing the 44-10 win. And also in the GAC, I wasn't able to include it on here, but Arkansas Monticello, they've put together a pretty good season. 24-20 win over Oklahoma Baptist University. And Arkansas Tech, they lost 24-13, I should say, to East Central. So Division II has definitely been crazy for football. But guess what, folks? It's almost basketball season. It basically is basketball season right now between Arkansas and whoever else they're going to play this season. But we got to talk about what happened Friday night. They played in their second and final exhibition game of the season. Didn't go so smooth. This was during Friday Night Football, so I wasn't able to listen to it but for maybe a quarter as I was driving back from Greenbrier, and no one was able to watch it because it wasn't televised. That's silly. The rest of the year, Arkansas games are going to be televised, so you don't have to worry about that. But this one, Arkansas lost in a one-point loss to TCU, 66-65. They were close throughout most of this game, and they were up 8. They were up 12 in the second half, and they just could never pull away. And then TCU kind of went on a run slowly, and the Horned Frogs put them away there at the end. They were able to be the better team. When it comes to looking at the score, they were able to be the better team. I wasn't able to watch it, so I don't know if exactly they were the better team. But shout out to the Luttie era, though. The Kentucky transfer, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks. This guy can do it all. And the thing is, Arkansas has players that can do it all. He's the only one that seemed to show up in this game. So that's a little sad to see, but it's just an exhibition game. Doesn't matter. It's basically practice. And if you want to hear, enough talk about me talking about it, let's hear from head coach John Calipari.
First of all, give TCU credit. They fought like crazy. We had every chance to win the game at the end. They made the plays and we didn't. We took tough shots and they were trying to get fouled and get to the rim. I've got to do, my challenge will be, all right, let's learn how to win. We took a 1-on-3 shot with the ball up. We took a 3 from our 5-man what would you do that for? We turn it over on a lob because we look away and we throw it. So I got work to do. But the only way I would know it is in a game like this. That was great for us. And I think it was great for Jamie. That's what this is supposed to be when you do these kind of things. Both teams walk away knowing, and the same with us in Kansas. You walk away knowing, okay, we got a chance, but these are some holes. And I like that some of the guys struggled because I told them, this is really good. Now, are you going to get your swagger back, or does this knock you in a hole? I mean, these kind of games, you either win or you learn, and we're learning. So it was that ending made the game to where we were at 13, ready to go. And then again, a couple breakdowns and missed layups and missed free throws, and all of a sudden, and this is basketball. Now it's a 6-point game. It's a 5-point game. And that's where it stayed most of the time, the rest of the game.
I really like what Coach Cal said there. He was like, I'm okay. I wanted them to struggle because, that's what you want in an exhibition game. It's just a practice. Doesn't mean that much. This game wasn't even televised. So, did Arkansas really lose if it wasn't televised? I mean, yes, they did, but it's just an exhibition game. So nothing to put too much into. I'm obviously not too worried. I said the same thing last week when they beat Kansas. It was like, it's really cool that they beat Kansas, and I guess that's a big deal. And it was cool that it was, on TV, and Arkansas got that national recognition. But it's just an exhibition game, so don't get too high on the highs and too low on lows, especially exhibition, especially early on in the season. Like, Arkansas is going to have their first game against Lipscomb coming up on Wednesday, and if they struggle in this one, don't press the panic button, okay? It's early on in the season. I know Arkansas fans, because I'm kind of one of them, don't press the panic button too early on in the season. Remember, all these guys are new to the team. There's only one returning player. A couple of them played with each other last year at Kentucky. Only one returning guy from Arkansas, and that guy is completely different, Trevin Brazil. So this is a different team, and it's a team that's still working together to get get all the kinks worked out. So that's my little spiel about the Arkansas men's basketball team. Let's move on to talk about Little Rock men's basketball. They should be good this year. They really should. They are a team that, last year they won the regular season title in the OVC, their conference. And of course, then they lost in the conference championship. So had a chance to go to March Madness, but wasn't able to make it there. And now this year, they're supposed to be, I think, even better than they were last year. They received votes in the AP Top 25, which is pretty good. for Little Rock, and they did win the OVC preseason, if that means anything, just preseason rankings. But preseason, they're projected to be really good and the top team in their conference. So really exciting for Little Rock men's basketball. I don't know that much about them, I'll be honest. I'm still learning about the team, just like you and me. Someone who does know a little bit more than them, and he's making his debut here on Luttie's Look Back. It's Tyler Cass.
Little Rock head coach Darryl Walker has one thing on his mind.
Defensively.
For good reason.
Last year, the first 10 to 12 games defensively, we were really bad. The last 12, of course, we were unbelievable. So I'm trying to get off to a good start.
The Trojans start off with high expectations, picked to win the Ohio Valley Conference and receiving their first ever vote in the preseason AP poll.
Of course, we've talked about it, but as the time went on, we just stopped talking about it and tried to focus on what we're doing right now, try and get better.
It's good for the school. It's good for the guys. I'm not concerned about it.
To come here, it's going to be a big target on our back. Everybody going to be coming after us.
Little Rock will return just 2 players who saw the floor in last year's conference championship game, but reload with a huge transfer class.
Mwani, Jayla, also Isaiah's getting there. Everyone who came this year has actually been a good addition to the team.
I'm used to coming in during the summer with a lot of new players and forming a bond and a relationship for us to play that year.
The team has really good chemistry already, which has nothing to do with my coaching or anything. They just like each other.
It's just making a good bond and basically creating a family aspect in the team, which just helps us when we play. And it's just everybody supports each other as we go.
The Trojans open their season at home Monday against Arkansas Baptist before hitting the road for 6 straight games. In Little Rock, Tyler Cass, THV 11 Sports.
All right, Tyler, thanks so much. Going to be exciting to watch Little Rock men's basketball go at it this season. Let's check in on the high school ranks now. We'll go back to football. Thursday night action. Parkview getting the win over Lakeside, 38-12. Parkview now in full control of the 5A. They are the team to beat when it comes to state championship time, and I don't know what, a month from now. The game below it, Little Rock Catholic getting the win 23-14 over Marion. Some big stakes here in the 6A East. I believe this is correct. So Benton is going to face off against Marion this upcoming week. If Benton were to win that, they will be the 1 seed in the 6A East. Catholic the 2 seed, Marion the 3 seed. If Marion were to beat Benton this upcoming week, I think they would be the 1 seed, Benton the 2, and Catholic the 3. So still a little bit to where we worked out in the 6A East, but those 3 teams are doing really well right now. The team below it is also doing well. Maumelle getting the 1-point thrilling overtime win over Searcy, 24-23. Levi Warrior had almost 250 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. They play Robinson this Friday to decide the conference title in the 5A Central. Bologna getting the win 30-27. Give credit to them shutting down the Morrilton defense, the Morrilton offense, an offense that put up 70 points or 70 plus points at least last week when they faced off against Farmington. Bologna also was down 13-0 in this game, and they came back, and they're now in the driver's seat of the 5A West. Top right corner of your screen, Mills continues to roll with a nice 49-7 win over CAC. The Comets are certainly doing well and undefeated right now in their conference and overall. Malvern keeps rolling 26-18 over Nashville. That sets up a big conference title game with Arkadelphia this week. The Badgers also undefeated in the 4A7. East Poinsett County, the Warriors getting the win 34-30 over Desart. They're now in the driver's seat of the 2A region. 2 and the final score, Carlisle, they just keep on rolling. That sets up a big game, a 61-8 win over England. And this upcoming Friday, a really big game over Hazen, or they're facing off against Hazen in a really big game that will decide the conference title in the 2A forward. Those are some scores. Let's check out our sweet plays. All right, nomination number 1. We didn't talk, I think, at all about the 7A Central, and it's been 2 teams that have been dominating. Here's one of them, Conway, and it's Cam Blackman that gets the impressive run here. This guy is just a sophomore, makes a couple guys miss, and it's a 90-yard touchdown run for the Wampus Cats. Look at that. Couple guys miss. Check it out in slow motion. Nice play there from the sophomore. All right, nomination number 2. It's Morrilton's champ, McNabb. That's his name. That's an awesome name, and it may be even an awesomer. Is that a word? Awesomer? I don't know. A more awesome catch. Wow, look at this. One-handed. So good, we're going to show it to you from the broadcast angle. Slow it down. Oh, man, you betcha. Mr. McNabb with a special catch. You want to remember that name. Impressive there for the Devil Dogs. All right, let's go to our final nomination. Sylvan Hills and Sheridan. Malachi Sherwin picking off Dax McMillan and taking it to the house. This was the second pick six of the game. This was early on, I think first or second quarter. This game was a bit crazy. Sheridan would end up winning, but Sylvan Hills, they would get the best of Dax McMillan on this play. Pretty special one. Malachi Sherwin takes it to the house. So there it is. Those are your sweetest plays of the week. Your sweetest play nominees, I should say, of week 9. We only got a few weeks left of the sweet play, so make sure to head over to thv11.com/sweetest play to cast your vote. Voting ends tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, so make sure to cast your vote. It's very important that you go out and vote for the sweetest play. All right, let's check in on some NFL scores now. Texans fall to the Jets in, I think that was Thursday Night Football. A bit of a shocker there. Shocker in my book, at least. Jets were favored to win this game. I don't know why, but I guess it makes sense since they won. But the Texans now fall to 6-3 on the season. How about the Titans? They win their second win of the season, 2017, granted over a not great Patriots team, but a good win for the Titans. Congratulations to them. And yeah, the Cowboys, they lost again. Now they're 3-5 on the year, but hey, give credit to the Falcons. They are 6-3. Tough look for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott got hurt in this one. We'll see what his status is for the rest of the season. I think he's fine, but I'm not sure on that. Don't want to give any wrong advice on here. But hey, Panthers beat the Saints just by 1 point. The Saints fall to 2-7, and the Panthers advance to 2-7. All right, got a couple more things to go over before we get you out of here. In soccer, nothing happened in the past week except Arkansas. Of course, they are going to be in the SEC tournament. They'll be playing tomorrow night against the 7-seed Georgia. This is a really good Razorback women's soccer team in case you haven't followed them, so make sure to watch Razorback Soccer Tuesday night. I can't remember what time that game is starting. It might be Tuesday afternoon, but a big game for the Razorback Soccer team, who is the number 3 team in the nation. They're top 5. They're definitely really good. And speaking of good, the volleyball team, they started out really hot, but they've kind of fallen off a bit as of late. But actually yesterday they got their first win and broke their 5-game losing streak. So give credit to them. They came back to beat Auburn 3-2. And something we haven't talked about ever on Luttie's Look Back is cross country. If you know anything about Arkansas Razorbacks, you know they are a cross-country/track school. The men's cross-country team won the SEC title. Nothing new there. I think it was like their 23rd conference championship in program history. So very exciting for cross-country. On the men's side, the women did finish 4th, but still a good showing from them, I believe. It's been a little bit of a down year for the women cross-country team, but we'll see how the rest of the season progresses once they get to the NCAA. That's a look at some other sports. Let's now go to how we always end my show with the Lutties Look Ahead. We got a fun game. Of course, Arkansas has the bye week coming up against, the bye week coming up against nobody, but then after that, they face off against the Texas Longhorns in what will be a really challenging game for the Razorbacks. If they play like they did against Ole Miss on Saturday, I'd be really worried to what's going to happen in this Longhorn and this game against a Longhorn team that is definitely better than Ole Miss. We'll see how both those plays. But hey, it's a rivalry game, so anything can happen. That game, November 16th at 11 a.m. on ABC or ESPN. That's to still be decided. That's going to do it, though, for Luttie's Look Back. I think it's episode 7, maybe episode 8. I should probably know. You guys probably know if you've been watching every show. Like, hopefully you guys are. But we've got a lot to also look ahead. We got football, of course, with the bye week with the Razorbacks, and then a game after that, as we just talked about. Also got basketball starting this week, so that should be really exciting. The men's team and women's team for Arkansas, UCA, and Little Rock all starting this week. So we'll talk about them on next week's show of Luttie's Look Back. Thanks for watching this week's show, and I hope you tune in to next week.